So in the last video, we created the functionality so that when we click one of our table cells, we get the color and put it into our input. So we store the value of our input inside of a variable, and then when we call the function generate CSS whenever we change one of our inputs, or we also can call the function whenever the mouse leaves our color picker. Right now I want to change the position of this form a little bit. I want to move it over to the left a little, and also this active button, I want to change the style of that. So in the CSS, I'm going to move the form to the right. I'm going to move it over 3% instead of 0%. This shifts it to the left a little bit. And also this active button, I'm going to go ahead and give the background is going to be gray and with a red font. Okay, so let's save that and let's take a look. Okay, so I like that a little bit better, and we still have the functionality. So let's go and let's look at this. See, we have this code block here. Let's create that in right about here. So in the HTML down at the bottom, let's create a code block. So let's create a code tag. This is new. This is for semantics. And inside the code tag, we're going to create a pre-tag. So we're creating HTML that will look like CSS. So let's get the ID of creativeclerk, and inside curly braces, we're going to set these are the default values that we've already given it. Font family is going to be Georgia. Font size will be 4EM, and then color will be white. Now these values are the same thing that we put in the CSS that before we make changes with our JavaScript. So we are going to change this, but for right now, let's take a look and see what this looks like in the browser. Okay, so we can't see anything. We need to give them some more styles. So let's go to the CSS. Okay, so down here at the bottom, let's create a code selector, and let's give it a position of absolute, top, about 50%, and then a left of, how about 25%? So a width. We need a width of 40%. And then give it a color, say, how about an orange, FFB000. So let's save that and take a look. Okay, I really don't like that style. I want it more in line. What if we do this? Go to the HTML and let's take that pre-tag out, because really all we need is the code tag. The code tag is kind of new to replace the pre-tag, and it's more semantic. Let's also go ahead and give this a bigger font size. Give it a 1.5 EM. That's 1.5 times the default size. So let's save that and refresh. I don't think I saved my HTML. Let's go back and check that. Exactly. I need to save that and then try it again. Yeah, that's much better. So let's go, and what we need to do is we need to change their font family. We need to wrap that around a span tag. So we'll give the span tag a font family code to let us know that it's a code. So I'm going to copy that and paste it twice, then close the span tags off. So this is going to be font size code, and this is going to be font color code. Okay. So now let's go to the JavaScript, and in our generate CSS function, we already got the font family, font size, and font color stored in a variable. So that is really convenient, because now we can just go down and below our object where we set our CSS, we can get the font family code that span tag and set its HTML equal to our variable font family. So let's copy that and paste it twice. That's font size and font size. Then font color. Didn't I say font color, right? Copy that and paste it right here. Okay, so now whenever we call this CSS generate CSS, we're going to populate the HTML. So let's save that and go to the browser, refresh. Okay, so now I'm going to change the font family, and sure enough, we see our code is being updated. But what about the font color? So when I choose my color and then hover off, I call the function, and sure enough, we also changed the color. So right now, we are generating our CSS. Notice that we have the shorthand FFF, but when we change the color, then we get the longhand. And that's causing this jump because every time I hover over this and mouse out, I get the back to whatever the value of this is. And this was hard-coded. Remember when we set the font color, we just used FFF. Let's change that. Let's make sure that there's 6 digits there so we don't get that jump. Okay, let's save that and check it out. Refresh. So when I hover over the color and click, and then I mouse out, it sets the HTML to whatever the value is in our color input. And that is how we generate CSS. Okay, so in the next video, let's start doing some of these text shadows. Now the text shadows are a little bit more complicated, so we're gonna have to go over that as a CSS review. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you are enjoying this course, and I hope you are learning a lot. Actually, I am just learning a lot by redoing it. Okay, so anyway, I'll see you in the next video.